Okay, after hours of headaches, hours of thinking and downloading, I have finally decided to make a video. I'm going to be very brief, very quick. It's just my voice. I just want to explain this to you very profoundly and carefully. And I'm going to give you a little fun fact in the description box as to how this is really not new. Anyways, price is a variable that comes from supply and demand through barter, and only through barter. Money comes from barter, and prices come from barter. This is the basic exchange between two individuals. If two people are stranded on a desert island, person A and person B, for this theoretical example, and person A picks berries and person B picks fish, from the ocean, and they exchange 5 berries for 3 fish. That's the prices for fish and the prices for berries. 3 fish and 5 berries. Okay. You sit here and you make the assumption, are we really to be proud of a system that manages its resources by, instead of taking a rare resource and giving it to a few people, rather than taking a rare resource and trying to give it some sort of technical application such that anyone may use it no matter how scarce it may be. Welcome to entrepreneurship and capital theory. Let's go back to person A and person B. Alright, we have 5 fish and 3 fish and 5 berries. Okay, the person picking fish picks it with a freaking stick, and it's hard as hell to get this fish developed. Alright, well, not developed, picked and cooked, etc., and given to the other person. While the other person could just pick berries just fine, just grow it and blah 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 blah, pick. Okay, so then person B wants to not use so much labor to get fish, or he wants to profit. That is to say, he wants satisfaction. And I'll explain what profit is defined later. But he wants to lessen the disutility of labor. So what he does is, very simply put, he decides to defer his consumption, and his consumption of anything. He doesn't exchange for berries. He puts off putting berries, and he puts off a lot of crap that he could be doing to create a net to just go right into the water and get all the fish he wants. It's not going to be happy for person A, who is sitting over there, and now he watches the prices for fish go skyrocketing. That's like 10 berries, 1 fish. What the hell? Because there's not many fish. But then just imagine this. He, after a week of a little bit of suffering, so much berries in my stomach, I don't know what to do with it all. Person B finally finishes this net, and this net gets 30-40 fish. Alright, 30-40-50 fish. Now the prices are now like, you just can give out fish practically. There's so much, and just exchange for a few berries, like 2 berries, 10 fish. There's so many berries, well, so many fish, and this is the application that this is the technological application that anyone can use it no matter how scarce it may be, because we lessen scarcity. The internet is an amazing product that has actually been able to do that once it was freed up in the market in the early 1990s. Thomas Edison did this, and he created a cinema, and now this is something we can all use for a very low price and created cheaply. The light bulb, all these inventions are created with a technological application. And you ignored capital theory. I'm going to give you a bunch of links in capital theory on how this works. Alright? Because you're really get thrown off here. Because the free market necessitates technological application because of profit. And what is profit? We'll get to that in just 1 second. Because you mentioned this idea, and I want to critique this very carefully, that you say a variable does not necessitate a monetary system. And you go to the kitchen. You mentioned this example of pancakes. And I already said that money necessitates barter, not money per se. Alright, so you're making this pancake, and then you're throwing price out of nowhere. And there's no prices in what you're doing in the video. Like, what the heck are you talking about? What you're doing is trying to get profit. You want to make pancakes, so you want to get profit. And what profit is, in a broader sense, is the gain derived from action. It is the increase in satisfaction brought about. It is the difference between the higher value attached to the result attained and the lower value attached to the sacrifices made for its attainment. In other words, it's yield minus cost. And then here's another huge book over here that states that all action is an attempt to exchange a less satisfactory state of affairs for a more satisfactory one. And of course, he mentions net profit, net gain, and net loss, and the psychological gain or profit and loss, cannot be measured in units. In other words, profit is a psychological gain from getting a satisfactory state. It is yield minus the cost. Okay, it is the satisfaction. Alright, that's all it is. And that's what you're doing with the pancakes. You're using means and ends. You're allocating your means. You find out there's no milk, so you reallocate it. You use water. And you use this to achieve your ends of pancakes. That's what you want. Right? Prices involve two people. It involves exchange. It involves barter. Your pancake has no price at all. What price do you have for that other than your own satisfaction? That's what even exchange and barter lends to. This is what monetary lends to. It lends for psychological profit. Profit is not contingent to money. It is contingent to your mind and your own individual satisfaction after an exchange. Simply put, and money is an indirect way of getting it. For instance, we have the butcher or candlestick maker, whatever you want, whatever Adam Smith's saying was. All right, and you have this guy, and he gets money. His money. He doesn't get profit from money. He gets profit from using the money to pay off the bills and to have satisfaction and have a happy family. That's where his profit really lies. The money is a means to the end. It's not the end. So why are you making profit? Is the end, but no, it's not. It's not the end. Money is a means to the end. It is indirect exchange. I'm going to give you a bunch of links for this. If you make cabinets for the two of us, and this is you made an example of cabinets. If we make cabinets for the two of us, we would not sit down on one of our masterfully crafted table and say, how much would someone pay for this? Cool. You could, obviously. Alright, well, we work through hard, it's a nice table, so $1,000. I don't think the average person would buy that. Wrong? What? See, this is another thing. You're trying to sit here and mention these factors of production garbage and where prices come from general exchange between two people. You can spend $1,000 making something, but if nobody's going to buy it, it doesn't matter the price. Nobody's going to buy it. You're going to keep lowering the price so that way everyone can buy it. Supply and demand laws. You've ignored them completely. And I'm actually going to turn in this book to explain to you, if I can, and probably I'm just going to toss this out, but quite frankly, what you're sitting here and saying is that the factors of production determine price, but price is determined between the exchange with two individuals, and you're not understanding that. And you sit here and you say the production costs, and you mentioned, we may even sell it for less than the production costs, whatever, but does it matter? You're misunderstanding that prices are formulated through the exchange of supply and demand, not the exchange of what the supply took to make it. He can try, of course he wants to cover the cost of his prices of production, but he has to cap demand in general. A perfect example of this is, take for instance a man who wants to make a dance hall, and he wants to have the maximum amount of profit. He has to consider the consumer. He has to consider the demand before he gets involved into this dance hall. If he sits here and thinks, well, it's going to cost us this much, so we're going to pay this much, we're going to pay like $40 for these people to come in, when the dance hall down the street pays for like 20 for half the price, and people are not going to come in there to dance. People are going to go to the dance hall down the street. It doesn't matter. You cover the cost of production. It matters not. The matters is supply and demand. The demand of the consumer. The consumer directs prices. The consumer will always direct prices. It directs whether or not something is worthwhile or not. And you completely ignored that. And this is what is really bugging me. When we talk about supply and demand, you can still talk in terms of price without talking about profit or money. But you never really explain what price is, because price is a formulation between two people. So rethink this position, jericomovie, because I'm appalled of what you're doing. I wish I can make a video of me giving you that weird face, but apparently I can't. I respect you so much, but you've ignored that prices are, again, I'm going to reiterate again, that prices are formulated between two people. Profit is psychological and individualistic. Capital theory provides technological advances because of profit to advance somebody's psychological disutility of labor, to lessen that, etc., and a bunch of crap. And it's just, I'm just muddling around now. I'm sorry. I'm just wanting to give you that summation. Please respond. All right. Thank you.